Kitsch. The author Milan Kundera described the word kitsch as the total denial of of shit, i.e. when you sort of take the painful element out of people's lives, you sort of end up with this sort of cartoony sort of 2D experience of life, and it's can be quite dangerous, really. Governments have used kitsch in their propaganda. You've only got to look at Chairman Mao and, you know, the complete, you know, cock-up he was making of China, and you know, according to all the propaganda and the media and everything in the garden was fine and dandy. Well, in music, if you deny music of its tension, of its drama, you get a song that's kitsch, and quite often they're not particularly convincing. I think the song by Joe McElderry, Smile, could, if you don't look at it carefully enough, or if you're not in the frame of mind to be able to go along with the sentiments of the song, could be seen as kitsch, but is actually a really clever song, done very, very well. And you know, I could probably sit here being criticised for, you know, being, I suppose, or having this YouTube a reputation of being a serious newso into hi-fi and God knows what else. As you know, I could probably be criticised for liking Joe McElderry, but I think he's great, or at least I think his pop songs are great. His semi-classical sort of excursions leave me a little bit cold, really, but yeah, his pop songs express everything, I think, about the joy of being young in life, and also its pain as well. And Smile by Joe McElderry is a fantastic example, and it's got a gorgeous magical musical moment in it, and so I'm going to talk about it now. Now, on the face of it, Smile is a love song. It's about somebody that is so head over heels in love, and it could be seen as everything in the garden is lovely, but there are a few sort of ambiguous moments in it where you're thinking, actually, is everything in the garden as lovely as he's painting it to be? I think there's a certain amount of sort of unrequited love about this, or at least his lover in the song is, you know, blowing hot and cold. All right, and to sort of kind of justify that, musically, at the beginning, we have an introduction that is sort of a nice sort of dum dum da 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 sort of swingy sort of introduction in key, obviously not as badly sung as that, and underneath it, though, you've got this bass note which seems to stay static. I don't know the sheet music to this, and I don't know the chords of it. I haven't worked it out, but the bass note seems to stay static. So even when the chord changes in the second bar, it seems to sort of drag and cause tension straight away. A bit like when I was talking about in Imagine in one of my other videos, and that repeats and repeats and repeats over the verse, okay? Now, the lyrics to the verse are very clever in a way, and there are some turns of phrase which I think, you know, blimey, I wish I'd thought of that, I wish I'd written that. And the way that the phrases overlap, so they don't finish where you think they're going to be, sort of kind of like builds up this anticipation in your mind. All right, so the first verse, you're better than the best, I'm lucky just to linger in your life, and I'm sure it's life. If you go on the internet and look at the lyrics, they say light, but I'm pretty sure it's life. So I'm lucky just to linger in your life. Well, there you go. I'm lucky just to linger, you know, I'm not really part of it, but I'm here, I'm on the outskirts sort of thing. I'm just hanging around, looking at you, and I haven't really fully engaged with you. At least I haven't told you exactly what I'm feeling until now. All right, so I'm lucky just to linger in your life, cooler than the flip side of my pillow, that's right, completely unaware. Now you see that where cooler than the flip side of my pillow, that's right. Again, that sort of goes over the expected sort of phrases. You would almost sort of expect it to end up on pillow, but then we get an extra that's right. Okay, but at the moment the bars are still pretty even. All right, completely unaware. Nothing can compare to where you send me. Let me know it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. All in one complete breath. Going over, so you've not got an even number of bars here, and that just adds to this sort of, I'm in love, and I can't stop. I can't stop telling myself this. All right, but we have got this dark element because I'm only lingering. I'm not fully part of. All right, and then the last line, and the moments when my good times start to fade. It might seem obvious, but the moment that I'm sad, that's when you come into my life with the chorus. You make me smile like the sun, fall out of bed, and so on and so forth. All right. So when I'm sad, this is what you do to me. All right. That's pretty much, obvious, except that it gets turned around in the second verse. So, it's worth pointing that out. The chorus is basically, you make me this, you make me that, you make me that, you make me that, you make me that. And it's sung with a backing vocal, which is like a falsetto. Now, a falsetto, the best sort of way to describe falsetto singing is if you imagine the Bee Gees and all their disco songs where they're right up in their high registers. And that is, done by a certain technique of singing where you're sort of on your top breath. And it's how blokes really reach those really top high notes, and so you've got him falsettoing above the main lyric, and the effect there is to give a certain breathlessness and just excitedness again. All right, so excitement, okay. So smile like the sun, fall out of bed, sing like a bird, and so on. Crazy on a Sunday night, we sort of drop there. So even on the words crazy, which is quite an exciting word, really, isn't it, people? All right, but the music and the tension drops there, and we get a little bit of a release until we come back to dance like a fool, forget how to breathe, and so on and so forth. Just the thought of you can drive me wild. Oh, you make me smile brings us back home and brings us back to that loop, which is the sort of release tension, release tension, release tension, because you've got that bass note which is not changing even though the chords are changing. All right. So now the second verse, and this is where for me the magical musical moment is. It's not the same as the climax of the song. The climax of the song comes later in the middle eight. All right, but for me there's an absolutely tingly moment here. Even when you're gone, somehow you come along just like a flower poking through the sidewalk crack. I mean, who the hell wrote those words? They are beautiful, it's just absolutely stunning, really. You can't diss poor Joe McElderry, really, if he's singing that. I know he didn't write it, but, there you go. I mean, at least he had the good sense to sing it, right? And he sings it absolutely brilliantly. So you come along like a flower poking through a sidewalk crack, all right? Now, a flower needs sunshine and it needs rain. Now, again, that sounds obvious, all right? And just like that, you steal away the rain. You don't take away the rain, so it's not like the rain that's in my life that is going. You're stealing. You're taking away the rain, and so you won't grow anymore, okay? The flower in the sidewalk crack will not grow anymore. So it's like you're blowing hot, you're blowing cold, all right? 1 minute, we're fantastic. The next minute, you do something or say something which makes me feel like we're not on again, all right? And there are no words really for him to say after that, so he just repeats, and just like that. Because we're breathless. And that is the magical musical moment. You steal away the rain, and just like that. And we get some high strings sounding very mournful at that point, just a smattering of them, before we go back into the chorus. Okay, so overall the mood is jubilant, but there is this sense here that what he's feeling is not being reciprocated. All right, so we've got that chorus again, and then we've got the middle eight, all right, which is where the song's actual climax comes. All right, for me, it's not actually a magical musical moment. The actual chord changes here, I think, are just a little bit kitsch, really. Don't know how I live without you, because every time that I get around you, I see the best of me inside your eyes. You make me smile. Okay, and you make me smile is just, you know, this great big expanse of, you know, of music. It's just boom, straight at you. You make me smile. All right. And although you've got, it is, yeah, a bit of a cliche. I didn't mean to say kitsch a minute ago. It's a bit of a cliche. But the bass notes descend during that middle eight. Don't know how I live without you, because every time that I get around you, and the bass notes are moving down and down and down, and that is a sense of gloom, really, a sense of, you know, I'm feeling like this. The music's saying, are you feeling like this? Okay, just like where the bass notes stay the same but the chords change in the introductions to the verses. All right, so you have got some sort of sense of ambiguity there. Now, before I finish, I will say that part of this song relies on the feelings of the person listening to it. Okay, for someone like me, you know, 40 something, whatever, for me, there's an almost added sense of pain, because I'm not 20 anymore, and I'm not sort of, you know, in love for the first time. And so, you know, that's how I would feel towards it. Also, you have the sense that if this was your granddad singing this to you, it wouldn't be quite the same. You know, it does need youth. It does need someone, you know, rather gorgeous, really, singing it, because otherwise, you know, it just wouldn't have the same effect. So a couple of external things there. How is the listener actually engaging with the song? Are they 20 and in love themselves? Are they, you know, in some jaded relationship? Are they in, you know, are they wishing that they were 20 and in love again, you know? And so, yeah, just listen to that song, people, and give poor Joe McElderry a chance. It's all we're saying. Okay, all right, see you later on another video. Bye.